Hi, this is Tia from the Real Housewives of Potomac, and you're watching That Grape Juice.
Yeah, welcome to That Grape Juice.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So let's just jump straight into it. You moved to Potomac during the pandemic.
Yeah.
How did that transition shape your joining RHOP?
Well, I was familiar with the area because my dad used to have a house there, so we summered there. But when I moved during COVID, we were all wearing the masks and stuff, so I didn't have any friends. And I had a desire to make new friends. Did I know that I'd make them this way? No. I got a phone call, and the rest was history. So, yeah, I feel really rooted in the area now. Yeah.
Definitely, you feel very rooted in the group as well. Coming into such an established show in a milestone season, season 10, what was your kind of approach coming into it? These are a group of ladies that obviously know each other already. You bring a lot of value as well. What was your approach coming into the show?
I have to be honest, my biggest apprehension was I thought I would stick out like a sore thumb. I had watched Lisa Vanderpump on Beverly Hills, and oftentimes she'd get into so much trouble because of her British humor. I thought it was hilarious, but they thought she was rather offensive, and I just knew that would happen to me. But then I thought, do something different, be brave. And I had been a fan of the show, so I had felt like I had known these ladies. And I thought, the best advice that I was given was make sure you're yourself. When you walk away, make sure you recognize yourself and your children can recognize you. And my thought process was if I was the right fit as myself, that would be great. But I wasn't going to force it because that's just going to be uncomfortable. So I just showed up as myself, and luckily it worked in my favor.
Definitely, definitely made for a compelling watch, and you brought so much to the show, both as a housewife and from your life behind the camera as well. Getting to know you as a person, who is Tia at her core?
Oh, Tia is love. I love family, love my people, kind, polite. There's some shade in there. Listen, I grew up with two older brothers, so I learned how to fight very early. Now I just fight with my mouth. I used to beat my brothers up though.
Now, I hear you. And your Nigerian heritage is obviously core to you as well. How has that kind of shaped you as a woman and a woman living in Potomac as well?
Yeah, my grandfather used to say to me, always remember where you come from. And that's something that I remembered being from a multicultural family as well. It stuck with me. And, the way we were raised is you don't only represent yourself, you represent your family. And so that's something that just kind of dictates how you move. So that you can only do so much because, also your parents can still smack you, even if you're late in your 40s. So there's that fear of like, behave yourself.
Right. And kind of coming into this group, what surprised you most about this dynamic?
Do you know what? What surprised me most is whatever you're feeling, they're feeling it too. So you're thinking, oh, am I relevant? Am I light? You're getting the backlash from the comments and stuff. But we're all human beings and they're experiencing the same thing. Fair enough, they've done it for longer, but at the heart of it, we're all going through this journey together. And so there are some women I like more than others, but one thing I do identify with is we are in a sisterhood. So it really is us together as a unit. And that's something I'm constantly mindful of. And anything I do represents myself, but I'm also representing them. I'm representing NBC Universal. Yes, I keep that at the forefront of my mind.
Definitely. And you mentioned sisterhood. With sisterhood, oftentimes comes accountability, right? And
They love that word on the show.
they do.
Yeah.
I think the franchise at large loves that word.
Accountability. They should have just written accountability on the contract you signed.
And I'm kind of watching the reunion ahead of this
Yeah.
interview now. I saw that you and Stacey definitely got into quite an interesting discourse about accountability. Let's talk Stacey.
Let's talk Stacey.
Talk to me. What are your gripes with Stacey?
You see, the problem is there's so much that the fans don't see. And I think the biggest thing that people don't quite get is I actually really liked Stacey. We had a blossoming relationship. I showed up to a lot of her events. You didn't get to see that all in the season. But the day I went to the pool, she said to me, obviously she knows Chris, but she said to me, and she held my hand, and they did not show this footage. She held my hand and said, I do not know that man, in the sense that I would never discuss his family with him, never. So knowing that she had done, and that she's actually holding my hand, convincing me that she didn't, just was a little bit uncomfortable for me, because when I show up with people, I like to know what I'm getting. I like to know what to expect. I don't want to walk away and have to second guess anything. And she had done like 4 things like that. She had told Ashley, I said she was deplorable. She said all sorts of things that kind of, it was a recipe for disaster if you didn't catch on.
Right.
So for me, that's not a friend, because you're trying to put me in a problematic situation because you don't want to be transparent. So it's very difficult to form a relationship with somebody like that. And the thing that she's a great woman. Like, she's beautiful. She's not too shady. She just lies a lot. And it all looks like harmless lies, but you'll see through this reunion, these lives have damaged somebody else's family, their children, cost them money, legal fees. So it's not really lighthearted, like this is affecting somebody's family. And being that we're in a sisterhood, I felt Stacey's family should be protected. I think we should protect everybody's family. So the fact that one of us is creating such a terrible situation for another, we expect that to be done to us from the outside, not from the inside. So it's tricky. I mean, I don't think that Stacey and I are beyond repair, but there's some conversations to be had. And hello, I've never been kicked out of an event before. Hopefully that would be the first and last. So yeah, I'm a bit salty.
Definitely, but bringing it from the salty to the sweet, I noticed that you kind of mentioned with positive terms that you see her in a good way and you do still like her.
Did I say that?
I mean, you did say that you.
Okay, I'm just thinking.
You actually did.
Run the tape. No, I'm joking.
Run the tape.
I do like Stacey. I do like Stacey. I don't like what she did.
Okay.
I don't like what she tried to pin on me, but I do like Stacey. And my desire is for us to get it together, because can I tell you, our daughters are obsessed with each other. So we had this event, 4th of July, and then I get in the car and my baby girl, Amaris, says, oh, I made a new best friend. And I said, well, who? And she said, Bella. I said, Arabella, like Stacey's Arabella? I said, no, you have to find a new best friend, please. And so Stacey and I laughed about this, that maybe the husbands can set up the play date, but we've got to get it together because our daughters are watching us and they're very fond of each other, and rightly so. So the mummies kind of need to figure out a way to be fond of each other too.
Shifting gears a little bit, what did this first season teach you about yourself? You're obviously seeing yourself on camera. The world has been introduced to Tia. What has it taught Tia about herself?
That sometimes my humor could be a bit offensive, and I have to kind of think about what I say a bit. I called my husband a nanny. He didn't like that very much. And then he kind of was being rebellious and then didn't want to do anything. So it kind of didn't work out for me. But really, we're both the nannies because we really do work for our children. But, some of my humor is partly how I was raised. Like, we jest and that's our way of showing love. But, it's important to understand that could be a little bit offensive. And what else have I learned about myself? I think I eat a lot on camera. My mum told me, why are you always eating? I'm hungry. And I get quite angry when I'm hungry. So, I don't know. Do you know what? I think it's taught me I'm braver than I think I am, because I've always considered myself quite shy, even though I am a people person. But being able to do something like this, it takes a lot of courage. So it's been great to demonstrate for my children.
Definitely. Yeah. And there's already a lot of buzz around season 11. I know we're wrapping up season 10.
Yeah.
Manifesting a Tia return. Right? If you are to be part of season 11, what would you want fans to see more of Tia?
Goodness. There's so many misconceptions about me. People haven't understood the accent, my family background, my dynamic and stuff like that. So I think when you only do one season, people don't really get to know enough about you, just beyond the surface level. So I've had an opportunity to get to know more fans, and I want them to get to know me on a deeper level. You'll definitely have an opportunity to see more areas of my life. Yeah.
Cool. We look forward to it. So rounding up, we want to play a quick game.
Okay.
Do you like games?
I love games.
All right, cool. Let's go.
I like prizes too. If there's no prize, okay.
There actually,
I'll play your game.
I think there actually is a prize.
Okay.
There is a prize. So you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a game of this or that.
Okay.
All right.
So I thought you were going to say Game of Thrones. I was like, I don't want to play this game. Okay.
Cool. So tea or coffee?
Tea, always.
Okay, quintessentially British. Honing in on the Nigerian side of things, jollof rice or soul food?
Jollof rice.
Gotcha. London or Lagos?
Lagos in December.
Okay.
London in the summer.
Okay, gotcha. If we could redo the Colorado trip, actually, can we just briefly talk about that?
No, we can't.
How was that as bad filming as it was on camera? Because that's legendary for all the wrong reasons. It's kind of defines this season.
Well, because we didn't show up to work. Like, we literally did not have I and Angel. We didn't have a camera crew. anything you see, we recorded on our cell phones
Oh, wow.
because the camera crew was at the Four Seasons. My mum actually watched that episode last night, and I there is some PTSD there because we were scared shitless. Can I say that? We were literally stuck on top of a mountain. I didn't drink water because where was I going to go use the loo? We hadn't eaten. It was hours. And Angel was driving this massive truck that were going down these windy roads. It was, I think we got through it okay, but it was intense. It was something. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. And I know you're friends with Angel. Like, how do you feel that she was treated from the rest of the group?
You know, it's interesting because going into this, I actually thought Angel would be way more accepted than I was because she's American, she's got a famous American husband, she understands the humor, she has a lot of mutual friends with the group. And then, of course, she's been friends with Kay for 20 years. So I actually thought, oh my God, like, it's going to be awful for me. It was really sad that they didn't embrace her as well as I thought they would. I think Angel has been really misunderstood. She's a lovely, I call her friend. She's a lovely person. She's just different from, and that's okay. Like this is, I tell people we're like the Spice Girls. We can't all be the same, you know, and I think that adds to the beauty of the collective. But you know, sometimes I wish she would have just told them, shut up. You know, this whole eviction thing, girl, you're probably the richest in the group. So, you know, we know, and you know you weren't evicted. So just say, yeah, haha, laugh it off. But she's such a deep soul that she processes a bit longer. So she didn't, and I wish she did because that would have kind of nipped some of this in the bud. So yeah, it was hard. Looking back, I wish I had spoken up more, but I actually didn't know her in the beginning. You know, I had never met her. And you see us progressively growing a friendship. And then I became more vocal because I understood better. And yeah, I wish it wasn't that way. It was there are some seasons, there are some episodes that I watch that are difficult to watch because it's hard. And, you know, even in the car in Colorado where you see me rubbing her arm, I was like, man, these girls are going to eat her the filth. You know, I was a bit scared for her, really. So it was unfortunate because Colorado was an opportunity for her to shine, show us what she's all about. She's built an amazing business. She's a beautiful soul. And it was just a series of unfortunate events. I cannot give you the answers. I cannot tell you how we ended up in Timbuktu and everybody else was. I can't. It was just, you know, I had to boil it down to we clearly weren't supposed. The universe did not want us there. There was to be no fly fishing. Maybe we would have drowned. I don't know, but it was just crazy. Yeah.
Cool. Actually, revisiting the questions, if the universe brought that trip back up again,
we wouldn't go.
Okay, if you're going on a dream trip with the rest of the cast, which 3 members would you take?
You're going to get me in trouble. Oh, okay, which 3 members? Listen, I would take Giselle because even though people feel like Giselle is nasty, she's funny as hell. She is funny as hell. And there is a certain type of order she puts in place that is needed. And then I would bring, can I bring more than 3?
You can bring as many as you like.
Ashley's a ton of fun. I'd bring her because she'll get the party started and she'll make the drinks. I'll bring Kay because she's going to get your life together, the Botox, all the things. To be honest, I would bring everybody in our group except Jazzy.
Okay.
I say that. Yes, I said that. Because she's performative and she, like, since the minute I got onto the show, she's been picking at me. And for what? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no reason why we couldn't be friends, but she keeps poking and it's not going to be a good trip because she's going to be poking at me. So I'll even take Stacey. Jazzy will remain wherever she lives.
And final question, what can we look forward to from Tia in the months and year ahead?
Oh, what can we look forward to? Greatness. Hello. Tia's going to be selling, you know, loads of real estate and she's going to be raising her 4 children to be amazing citizens of the world. Please tune in to the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion on Hey You.